The Whitmore Manor ballroom sparkled with Christmas lights, and the hum of conversation. 200 guests filled the space for the annual charity gala. Crystal chandeliers cast warm light across marble floors. A string quartet played festive music. Just a bit too loud. Reese Whitmore stood near the entrance watching the crowd with his usual detached expression. 36 years old with dark hair and a gray suit, CEO of Whitmore Global Success Faculty in business circles as brilliant, but Coles attended events like this because they were expected, not because he enjoyed them. Across the room, Reese noticed a young woman mid-20s with long blonde hair. She wore a white top and light blue skirt, simple compared to the formal gowns around her. She knelt on the floor talking to a small little girl, maybe 4 years old, in a pink dress. Child clutched a white stuffed rabbit. As the music swelled, the little girl suddenly covered her ears. Her face contorted, started rocking. Young woman immediately wrapped her arms around the child, speaking softly, but the girl was clearly distressed. People nearby glanced over, some stared, others looked away. No one helped. Reese recognized what he was seeing, had seen it before. Without thinking, he walked to the sound booth, turned the music down. He told the technician significantly, "Sir," the event coordinator said, "I own this venue." Reese interrupted, "Turn it down now." The volume dropped. Immediately, the room quieted. Conversions became clearer. Overwhelming noise. Reese walked to where the young woman knelt with the child. "Is she okay?" he asked. Quiet. Live woman looked up, surprised. "She is autistic," she explained. "The music was too loud. It is quieter now." Reese said, knelt down. "Ought to." Classic, giving the child space. "Hello," he said softly to the little girl. "My name is Reese. What is your name?" The child peeked at him from behind her hands. Did not speak. "This is Poppy," the young woman said. "My daughter, she does not talk much." "That is okay," Reese said to Poppy. "You do not have to talk." He gestured to the rabbit. "Your friend is very nice. Does your friend have a name?" Poppy held up the rabbit, whispered something. "Snowball." The young woman translated, "Because he is white like snow. That is a perfect name." Reese said. His student extended his hand to the young woman. "Reese Whitmore, Audrey Spencer," she said, shaking it, "and thank you for turning down the music. Most people would not have noticed." "I noticed," Reese said simply. Later that evening, Reese found Audrey near the refreshment table. Poppy was calmer now, playing with Snowball. "Can I ask you something?" Reese said. "Of course. How did you end up at this event?" Audrey smiled slightly. "I am a teacher at Riverside Elementary. The school was given to tickets to donate. I took them thinking Poppy might enjoy the Christmas tree, but I did not think about the noise." She looked embarrassed. "I should have known better." "You cannot predict everything," Reese said, "and she is okay now because you noticed." Audrey replied, "You saw she was struggling and you did something about it. That is rare." Reese was quiet. "My younger brother was autistic," he said finally. "Was he passed away 5 years ago? Car accident. He was 28. Audrey's expression softened. "I am so sorry." "Thank you," Reese said. "His name was Theo. He did not like loud noises either. I spent years learning what helped him, what made things easier." He looked at Poppy. "When I saw your daughter cover her ears, I just reacted before Audrey could respond." Poppy tugged her mother's hand, pointed at Rice, then held out Snowball. "She wants you to hold him," Audrey said, surprised. "She never lets anyone hold Snowball." Reese carefully took the stuffed rabbit. "Thank you, Poppy. I will take good care of him." Poppy smiled. Later, rare, full smile, according to the wonder on Audrey's face. Over the following weeks, Reese found reasons to visit Riverside Elementary. He donated funds for a sensory room, provided resources for special education programs, and he always stopped by Audrey's classroom to see Poppy, to talk with Audrey, to feel less alone. Afternoon, Audrey invited him to stay after class. "Can I ask why you are really here?" she said. "You have done so much for the school, but I think there is something else." Reese sat in one of the small chairs. "When Theo died," he began, "I threw myself into work. I became the cold, ruthless CEO everyone expects because caring hurt too much." He looked at Audrey. "But that night at the gala, when I saw Poppy struggling, I felt something I had not felt in 5 years." "What purpose?" Reese said. "The chance to help someone the way I helped Theo." His voice broke. "I miss him. I miss having someone to care for. Someone who needed me." Audrey reached for his And you can care for us, she said softly, if you want. Poppy adores you, and as she paused, I am falling for you, for the man who sees my daughter, not just her autism. For the person who notices what others miss. Reese felt tears. I am falling for you too, for both of you. They were married a year later, Christmas Eve, in the same ballroom where they met. Poppy was the flower girl. She took her job very seriously, walking slowly, dropping petals with precision during the ceremony. Reese gave his vows 13 months ago. I attended a gala I did not want to attend, he said. I was going through the motions, being the cold CEO everyone expected. Then I saw a little girl cover her ears. He looked at Poppy standing between him and Audrey. I saw her struggling, and I remembered my brother. I remembered what it felt like to help, to care, to be needed. He turned to Audrey. You and Poppy woke me up. You reminded me that feeling is not weakness, that caring makes you stronger, not weaker. His voice was thick with emotion. Thank you for letting me be part of your family, for trusting me with Poppy, for showing me that the best version of myself is the one who pays attention, who notices, who helps. Audrey was crying. You gave us more than help, she said. You gave us understanding. You did not try to fix Poppy. You just made the world easier for her to navigate. She touched his face. That is love, real love, seeing someone's needs and meeting them without asking them to change. Poppy tugged on both their hands, pointed to her ears, then to the musicians. The music is too loud. Audrey translatories smiled, walked to the musicians. Can you play softer, please? My daughter is sensitive to noise. The music became gentler. Poppy smiled, held up Snowball. In April years later, people would ask Reese about his reputation, about how the cold CEO became warm. Her would smile and say, I noticed a little girl covering her ears, turned down the music, and found my family. Sometimes the smallest acts of awareness change everything. Tim's noticing what others overlook leads to love. And sometimes the person who seems coldest just needs someone to care for. Again, if this story moved you, please like and share it with someone who values awareness and compassion. Subscribe for more stories about seeing beyond the surface. Comment and tell us about a time when someone noticed your needs without being asked. Your story might inspire someone to pay closer attention to the people around them today.